so that we can achieve these goals.
Very much, Frederica, and congratulations for your leadership and everything you've done to promote the Sustainable Development Goals in Latin America. And to close, I want to introduce Danielle. She was telling me about how the IBM has a STEM program that has been empowering girls to grow and to come close to with technology at a very young age. I want to ask Danielle, if you were representing all the girls without a voice, what would you say?
So hi, my name is Daniela Lopez. I'm a student at one of the PTech schools. So next year when I graduate in high school, I'll graduate with my associate's degree in computer systems technology. So back to your question, I would tell all the girls to not let someone else speak for them. They have to advocate for themselves. Speak up for what you want. This is something that I struggled with in the past. I used to be afraid of getting called on by the teacher because I didn't want people to make fun of me if I got the wrong answer. But now that I'm older, I realize that I shouldn't have been afraid. I should have been proud to say the answer because I did know the answer. And I am fortunate enough to know who I am and what I want to become, so every decision that I make takes me one step closer towards achieving my goal. However, it's also okay if you don't know what you want to do, because at the end of the day, we are still young, we are still figuring out what we want to do and are finding our place in this world. So you have to go out and try new things, because that's the only way that you'll figure yourself out. So this past summer I did an internship at IBM. That was one of the best summers that I've ever had. During my time there, I was constantly challenged. One of the challenges that I had is that each week on Monday we were given a topic to research, and on Thursday we had to present that to the whole entire team. Some of the topics that I researched were what is business to business, what makes a successful marketing campaign, and what is quantum computing. Before that, I didn't know what quantum computing was, but when I was doing my research, I found it fascinating. So figuring out who I want to become and what I want to be has helped me gain confidence in myself that I didn't have in the past. And I think that that confidence is especially important because I want to study in a field that is mostly dominated by men. So as a woman, so not only as a woman, but as a Latina woman, I have to work harder to get to where I want, and that's not going to stop me. So one last thing that I like to tell the girls without a voice is that you have to be a force to be reckoned with. Don't let anything or anyone stop you from achieving your goal. You are strong and capable of achieving greatness. You just have to work hard for it. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone.
If I was at a concert, I would say check, 1, 2, 3, check.
Well, there we go. Well, that's what we do at a concert. So, leave it to George to let the entertainer be the last one to lead a panel, right? Right. We made it! The last panel at the end of the summer. Give yourself a... I'm Mary Melvin. I want to first thank George and in her absence, Adriana. for the great honor and privilege to come and be a part of this wonderful summit. I was introduced to, of course, I've known George and Adriana for quite some time, but I was introduced to IdeaGen this past summer when I was invited to perform for the Global Summit, and it was such an amazing experience. As entertainers, of course, we're always on stage singing and dancing and entertaining you all, but many of us don't always have the opportunity in our schedules to come and be a part of something like this. And so it was just incredible to sit in the room this past summer and meet many of you, but experience a stimulating conversation. And so when George asked if I would come back and not sing, but lead a powerhouse panel of women, I said absolutely, I could not say no. So I'm honored to be here. And yes, we have a powerhouse panel, the last panel for the summit. And I'm just so delighted and excited to have met all of these wonderful women, young women as well. I think this panel is unique because we will get to hear from some of our young women, which is why we're here, right? To empower our young girls. So how very fitting that we end in that regard. So I want to just quickly, of course, the topic of the summit, as we all know by now, is empowering women and girls. And such an important topic that we have seen across the day from an array of conversations, be it health or business or legal rights, what have you. It's been quite stimulating. And so I want to just kind of use the panel to recap our conversations today and talk a bit specifically, allow the women to speak specifically about their areas on empowering women and girls. And then we have a final guest that George will introduce as we close out the summit. So as Chris Reynolds from Toyota said, he is from the roots of a Baptist church. I come from the roots of a Baptist church and a Pentecostal church, which is a mix of crazy town. So both my parents are retired ministers, and so just like Chris said, when you say good afternoon, there's a response. It's even more demonstrative from where I come. So just to get us moving our juices a little bit, because it's been a long day, I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor. Neighbor. Now, come on now. I said I'm Baptist and Pentecostal, so there has to be a little bit more energy. So if you're sitting next to a female, I want you to say, you are a phenomenal woman.
I'm waiting for it.
If you're sitting next to a man, I want you to say, if you're sitting next to a man, I want you to say, you are a phenomenal man who loves.
You are a phenomenal man.
You are a phenomenal man. You are a phenomenal woman.
And we're all phenomenal.
I hope. We're all phenomenal people.
So I would like to go ahead and start. I would like for the women to go down the road to introduce yourselves, speak about, tell us what company, organization you're from, or entity, and just quickly touch on the importance of your role in empowering women and girls. I'd like to start with the young ladies because I just think it's so unique that we get to hear from two of our young girls, and their proud parents are in the audience. And so I wanted to allow our young girls to start off. So Taylor, why don't you introduce yourself and speak a little bit about, how about I ask you a question after you introduce yourself? Tell us what grade you're in, and then I'll ask a question then.
So my name's Taylor Smith. I am in 5th grade and I'm 10 years old.
She's 10 years old and she's here at the summit. And her mom's over there videotaping too. So Taylor, tell me this. What does empowerment mean to you and why is it important?
Well, I believe that empowerment means that everyone is treated equally but not the same. We are all different people and we all have our own personalities. Once a teacher asked us to share a story about an injury we once had. She put a Band-Aid on the place where the first person who spoke had an injury. Every other person shared their story but received a Band-Aid in the exact same place as the first person. What I learned was that when everyone is given the same thing, no matter what they need, then very little is accomplished. If we are all treated the same, then nothing will change and we won't discover anything new. But when we are treated equally, in the ways that we need, we heal, we learn, we grow. We get the love, care, and chances we need and can tap into our strengths and own personalities, which makes discovering new things possible. Sometimes we need to come together to make this happen. Every year, my friends and I lead a march for peace and justice in memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But it is more than a march. My teachers, my family, and even the businesses we pass join to cheer us on. The police lead and support us as we become a movement. On this day, we all feel that we are actually making a difference. We all feel connected and everyone feels heard. We end the march in a park where anyone who would like can raise their voice to share what they believe is right, to share their story, and to make an impact. You see, this isn't just a march to us, it is a chance to be empowered. When we all come together, anything is possible.
And that's Taylor Swift. That's Taylor Smith. I think we see a first woman president right there. That is beautiful, Taylor. And I tell you, the comments that you made about peace and equality, already understanding what that means in the context of empowerment is beautiful. Thank you for sharing.